What's your take on this election?
I'll say, like many others, it's an election one of a kind,
Mm-hmm.
a very stressful election, emotionally draining, uh, and we're glad that today is election day.
So you're relieved.
I am relieved. I'm hoping for the best.
Okay. What's your expectation? Do you think that a post-election it will be a smooth transition of power? There won't be any issue. Whoever is winning will, who is declared to be as winners will be accepting it without any issue.
Well, that's what we hope for. I cannot tell,
Mm-hmm.
because I think it's really up to the people um, to not hang on to some of the bitterness and the divisiveness of these two campaigns. So I'm hoping that the leaders will take that lead and will make whatever concession would need to be made and would uh, be instrumental in a smooth transition of power for our country. That's what we're concerned about.
I think there will be a normal transition of power. I think the rigged election uh, stuff was Donald Trump trying to save face as he sunk in the polls. Now he's rising in the polls. He doesn't talk as much about it. But after the election, we have two candidates who are hugely unpopular, and so that will affect their power after the election. The Congress, they will be weak relative to Congress. They will also be weak, Mrs. Clinton, weak relative to the Republicans because of her ostensible criminality and the bad blood there. She would be wise to make peace with them quickly and start making deals. Trump will be weak because he doesn't have a party. The Democrats will never impeach Mrs. Clinton. The Republicans will impeach Donald Trump at the slightest opportunity, especially as his running mate, his vice president, would be the conservative Mike Pence, whom they would prefer to see in power. So he's quite vulnerable should he win.
There's a lot of talk about this one woman in US, America getting the first woman president. Um, what do you think? Are people excited about it?
Uh, Mildly. She's been around so long, she's part of the fabric of everything that I don't see where it's a big difference anymore because she's basically ingrained in she's been around since the 90s. So it's a big deal, but it's her in particular, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just sort of a natural progression from where she's come.
So, do you think this kind of Trump being an outsider, in the political system? Do you think that actually got into people? Like people really wanted a change? Is that the reason for so much of excitement for him?
I think he is tapping into what people feel underneath and won't say, and that's what a lot of it's coming out as. He's been around in this area since the 70s, so we basically know who he is, what he says, and what he does. So out in the rest of the country, I think they're introduced to him through TV shows, and that's all they know. And I think they want change, but they also feel that he's saying things that they don't want to say in public and so forth, and
Yeah.
he gets away with it. And people like that.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah, a lot of talk about how insane the campaign was. Do you think it has affected the image of the country?
Of course it is. Of course it has. We've gone beyond the pale in it. It has gone beyond decorum, beyond respect and so forth, and you can't have compromise without respect. And we're not going to have that because people are just willing to say whatever they want to say nowadays, and they don't care. They just don't care.
The majority of the people voting here today, I think what really it comes down to is they're trying to be true to their convictions inside, whatever that is. Even though it might violate some of their convictions, I think they're trying to, for the most part, stay true to what they believe is right. And I think that's where it comes down to for most voters. But for me personally, I definitely want to vote for not necessarily the person who I think is the best leader, because I know that it comes down to more than just who the person elected is. I think it comes down to the Supreme Court. I think it comes down to the policies. I think it comes down to what rules people will try to make. I think it comes down to the policies, and in my opinion, what's most important to me is the policies that will honor, first and above all, the Creator, the Lord God, the Almighty, because He, in my opinion, is the one who I'm trying to please. I'm not trying to, you know, do what I think is right or what you think is right. I'm trying to do what He thinks is right.